I've spoken in recent videos about the importance of having the right type of character to make it at the top level in boxing, to have the right kind of mentality, because you could have all the physical ability in the world, but if you don't have it upstairs mentally, if you don't have that meanness, if you don't have that go-getter attitude, then you ain't gonna make it. Unless your physical ability is crazy, once in a generation type physical ability, then it will not compensate for your lack of mental fortitude. The other week, Hughie Fury was soundly beaten by Kubrat Pulev, and to me it was indicative of the fact that Hughie Fury doesn't have that fire in his belly that his cousin Tyson has. It's not just the fact that he's not as talented as Tyson, it's also because he don't have the fire in the belly that Tyson has. Tyson won a lot of his early fights before he was training with Peter Fury on heart and determination because he really wasn't in shape. A good example would be the McDermott fights. You look at the rematch with McDermott, Fury was in terrible condition. I think he was in worse condition for the rematch than he was for the first fight. But he was somehow getting through just on fighting heart and instinct and tenacity, meanness, pure fighting spirit. Hughie don't have that. He hasn't displayed it so far at least. And I think it was a similar situation here with Ryan Martin. Now, Josh Taylor's the more talented guy, don't get it twisted. But for Ryan Martin to have any chance at all in this fight, he would have had to have turned up with some serious fire in his belly. And he didn't. And shout out to Ray Sai. He put up a post in my Facebook boxing group giving his opinion on the fight before it started, saying that he thought an upset wouldn't be out of the question. I think he did pick Josh Taylor to win, but he said he wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Martin upset him. And I left a comment saying, I think Josh Taylor's meanness will secure him the victory in this fight. And that's what I've been telling people all along who asked for my opinion on this, is that Taylor is a very, very mean fighter. He's vicious. Everything that I've just described people like Hughie Fury not having and Ryan Martin not having, Josh Taylor has it in abundance. He's got the meanness, he's got the viciousness, he's got the go-getter attitude, he's got the fire in the belly, all of the above. Josh Taylor's got it in spades. And when you combine that with Taylor's very good technical ability, his good height, his good speed, his footwork, his movement, he's a very, very dangerous man at 140 pounds. And he is continuing to improve and impress. With all that being said, Ryan Martin did play into Josh Taylor's hands. Even stylistically, he played into Josh Taylor's hands, because despite the fact that Ryan Martin is tall, like Josh Taylor's tall, I watched several of Ryan Martin's fights earlier on in the week. And one of the things I noticed, and again I put a post up in my Facebook boxing group about this, despite the fact that he's tall, he prefers to fight up close. He can fight outside, but his natural propensity is to fight you up close. And he likes to throw hooks and body shots and all this kind of stuff. And I noted that he's not a particularly heavy puncher. His power's mediocre at best. He does have good hand speed, good combination puncher, but he's not difficult to hit. He likes to stay on the inside a little too long. And he doesn't appear to be that fiery. And if you're fighting somebody like a Josh Taylor, you have to be able to match fire with fire. You have to. Yeah, unless you're unbelievably skilled and can just outskill him, which very few fighters are going to be able to do. Unless you're that guy, you're going to have to be able to match his fire in terms of the personality, the heart, the desire, the determination that he brings. You have to be able to match that. Maybe even surpass that in order to beat him. And Ryan Martin, before the fight, I saw a snippet of an interview with Abel Sanchez, Ryan Martin's trainer. And Abel Sanchez was saying, Ryan Martin's not mean enough. And when I heard that, it just galvanized my opinion that Ryan Martin was going to lose this fight and lose it decisively. Because if his own trainer is saying he don't have enough meanness, and even Ryan Martin actually said, I need to get more meanness in me. I've been told I'm just not quite mean enough. If his own trainer's saying that and he's saying that, then he's got no chance against Josh Taylor. He's in serious trouble. And indeed, he found himself in serious trouble very early on. Josh Taylor was peppering him with combinations, moving around him. Ryan Martin, in a peekaboo guard, made himself a sitting duck because he's a very big target. It's not like he's a little awkward guy who can duck underneath shots and make himself awkward to hit. No, he's a big stationary target who Josh Taylor could just tee off on. And some people in my Facebook group were remarking that they thought Ryan Martin had frozen. And I do think he did freeze. Mentally, I think he froze. His trainer, Abel Sanchez, was shouting at him and telling him to get moving and telling him from very early on in the fight that he would pull him out if he didn't let his hands go. But at the same time, I don't want to take away the technical brilliance of Josh Taylor. I don't want to downplay that. I don't want to make out as though it's a guy who simply froze. And perhaps if he hadn't froze, he would have been very competitive with Josh Taylor. No, I think there was a big class gap there. I think Josh Taylor outclassed him, outfought him, beat him up, and, you know, he was one-sided, to be honest with you. I thought Ryan Martin would have a bit more fire in his belly than that, but evidently he didn't. And Josh Taylor did a very, very good professional job on him. It's not going to be that easy as he progresses in the tournament. Other fighters are going to be tougher than Ryan Martin. They might not even be as physically talented as Martin, but they'll have a lot more spirit. They'll have a lot more self-belief. They'll have a lot more meanness in them than Ryan Martin. And for that reason, they'll be able to make it more difficult for Josh Taylor. But from when this tournament was announced, there was quite a few people picking Taylor to win. And I'd be interested to see what the odds are actually, because he might be the favorite to win the tournament at this point at the light welterweight division. And just a bit of trivia to finish off this video. This is the first time that I've seen an American fighter wearing Fly gloves. Fly, for those of you who don't know, is a British company that makes boxing gloves. The gloves they make are very high end, so very expensive compared to Everlast or Rival or Cleto Reyes. Far more expensive than that. They're made from the same leather as Rolls-Royce make their car seats out of, apparently. Right? So very luxurious gloves. This is the first time I've seen an American fighter wearing them. I've seen Jorge Linares wear Fly gloves before, but that's because he was training in the UK for a while, and Jorge Linares is not American anyway. He's from Venezuela, and I believe still lives in Japan, I think. But I guess he based a lot of his career in America. But Ryan Martin is American born and raised. First time I've seen an American born and raised fighter wear Fly gloves. Interesting that he picked those. Perhaps there weren't any other choices. You know, perhaps he was presented with a selection of gloves and he went with the ones that felt most comfortable, which were Fly. Maybe he would have preferred to wear a different kind. I don't know. Anyway, that's just a little bit of trivia. Oh, my bad. Before I go, I nearly forgot to mention the actual knockout itself in the 7th round. Look, Ryan Martin was never going to win that fight. He was way behind on the scorecards. He'd lost everything. He didn't appear to have the skill nor the determination and the will to win to pull a victory out of the fire at that point. But be that as it may, that stoppage was some BS. Yeah. The guy was on his way to defeat anyway, alright? So people are not going to be moaning and complaining about it for very long. But Victor Loughlin, the referee, is it Loughlin or Loughran? I forget now. But he was the same guy that refereed Eubank Jr. against Nick Blackwell, I seem to remember. But yeah, he jumped in when Ryan Martin went down from a shot that was clearly on the back of the head. The guy went down. He didn't even give him a count. At least give him a count. It was the first knockdown of the fight. At least give him a count. Didn't even give him a count for a shot on the back of the head. Even if he mistakenly thought the shot was legal, he still should have given him a count. But he didn't. And that was a little disturbing. You know, that was a little disturbing. So that was the only bit of criticism of the Josh Taylor fight that I have. And it's not Taylor's fault. You know, he's not the one who told the referee to do that. The referee was acting of his own volition. But yeah, it was disappointing to see such a poor stoppage. And it robbed Taylor of finishing the fight in more conclusive fashion and in more legitimate fashion, actually. I don't think Taylor, meant to hit him on the back of the head. But the punch did land there. If he got up, he would have received the proper beating with shots that landed in the face, But I'd rather see a fight end conclusively the right way rather than end in a BS stoppage like that. So that's what I'll say. Hats off to Josh Taylor. Fantastic performance. Body shots, combination punching, great movement, great technique. Didn't take many shots himself. Great energy. That's one of the best things about Josh Taylor is his energy. He's a very energetic fighter, a very fiery fighter. Puts his shots together very well and takes care of business. So yeah, hats off to him. And let's see if he can get through the semi-finals now. Let me know how you feel in the comment section, people. It's happening, I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.